وكذلك من الأمور التي تختلط على الناس صلاة يسموها بصلاة الرغائب. There is a prayer also some of the people they perform in this month of Rajab, and they call it Salatul Raghaib. Salat al-Raghaib. You may be, especially on the first Friday of, like tonight, this is the first Friday of this month. And the people, they just call each other, especially now in our time, they text each other, send invitations to one another. We're going to gather in this masjid or this place or this house or this, and we're going to worship Allah. It's a beautiful text. You're going to worship Allah. That's a good thing. But based on what? We don't worship Allah based on innovations. See, that's what we want to understand. And we want our beloved brothers and sisters to understand. Making salat is not haram. Praying is one of the best acts of worship. Fasting is one of the best acts of worship. Reading Quran and making dua is one of the best acts of worship that get you closer to Allah. The problem is not in praying, fasting, reading Quran, sadaqah, dua. Isn't how you do it. How you do that. What is the problem here is that people, they come up with this salat that the Prophet ﷺ didn't legislate for us. He never performed it, not even once. Sahaba after him never, ever. Actually, they don't even know. First couple of centuries, none of the companions know. None of the tabi'een, atba' al-tabi'een, not even Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam al-Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad, and the A'imma of the Deen, none of them ever heard of it. You don't find it in their books because it didn't exist. So why some of the Muslims are doing it? Something the Prophet ﷺ never did. Something the Sahaba never heard of. Something this A'imma, all of them never heard of. How can it be a good thing? How can it be a good thing? قال ابن رجب كما في لطائف المعارف. This great Imam Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali رحمه الله says لم يصح في شهر رجب صلاة مخصوصة تختص به والأحاديث المروية في فضل صلاة الرغائب في أول ليلة جمعة من شهر رجب كذب وباطل لا تصح وهذه الصلاة صلاة الرغائب بدعة عند جمهور العلماء. One of the great ulama, when they speak with knowledge. They don't just narrate. They don't just copy, paste, and forward. No, they speak with knowledge that Allah has raised them with. They specialize in the deen of Allah, in the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. They spend their lives studying, acquiring the sound understanding. What did he say, this alim? We're just quoting for you. There is so many other statements of the ulama of Islam. This great Imam Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali rahimahullah says, as related to the salats, that certain Muslims, they perform in Rajab, especially in the first night, like tonight. If you are invited to that salat tonight, decline that invitation. And you can do even more than that. Advise the people. Tell them it's good to pray. But this salat here, was the Prophet ﷺ, did he perform it? Did any of the companions? Did Imam Abu Hanifa perform this? Imam Malik, Shafi'i, Ahmad? Any one of the ulama of Islam, the companions, they are the best of the people. Who, after the prophets and the messengers? If they say yes, say, bring me dalil, teach me, barakallahu fiqh. They say no, say, akhi, stop. Don't just come up with things. Don't just follow whatever the people do. You follow the Quran and the Sunnah. He said, this salah that is called Salat al-Raghaib, that is performed in the first night of Jumu'ah of this month of Rajab, باطل لا تصح, it's false. Has no authenticity about it whatsoever. So therefore he said it is a bid'ah with the ulama of Ahlul Sunnah. It is a bid'ah and innovation. قال الحافظ ابن حجر لم يرد في فضل شهر رجب ولا في صيامه ولا في صيام شيء منه معين ولا في قيام ليلة مخصوصة فيه حديث صحيح يصلح للحجة. Another great Imam al-Hafid ibn Hajar al-Asqalani رحمه الله تعالى, in his book تبيين العجب بما ورد في فضل رجب, he said, we have no sound narrations or text whatsoever that can support the actions of certain people that they do in Rajab. whether it's related to fasting or salat or standing a certain night. He said there is nothing. There is no sound hadith whatsoever. The other matter, ya akhwan, that is related to this beautiful month of, and this sacred month of the Rajab, al-ihtifal bi laylat al-Isra wal Mi'raj. Some people, they celebrate the Isra and Mi'raj, especially in the 27th night of this month of Rajab. لا شك أن هذا حدث. لا شك أن الإسراء والمعراج ثابت بالقرآن والسنة. نعم, the Isra of the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم and his ascension to the heavens, this is something that we believe in it. This is our aqidah. Something, yes, it did happen. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم embarked on that great journey from Mecca to Bayt al-Maqdis. And then from that, Jibreel alayhi salam took him to the heavens. From all of these events that are recorded, alhamdulillah, in the sound sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We believe in all of that. Yes, we do, because we have text, we have Quran, we have a whole chapter that is called Surah Al-Isra, chapter number 17. And we have many ahadith, sound ahadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, what is the problem? Celebrating that day. Why is it a problem? Because there is no ayah that tells us to celebrate. There is no hadith that tells us to celebrate. Not even one of the companions has celebrated. No one from At-Tabi'in and Atba' Tabi'in and the A'imma al-Mu'tabarin, none of them has celebrated. So why would one of us come after the Prophet ﷺ and his companions, the great A'imma of Islam, and start something and call others to it and put a hashtag on it like they say, it's good for you? Putting that ain't going to change from the reality, man. Bid'ah stays always a bid'ah. Even if a person eloquent, like we said many times, a rotten cake always stays a rotten cake, even if you put the best icing on it. No one in his right mind wants a slice of that, especially when he see the blade go through it. That's why we have to have the same attitude, ya akhwan. We're here to follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. We know that the sunnah is the najat, nothing else. We shouldn't be emotional. Well, I'm going to follow my tribe. I'm only one of the people. These are my people, man. I'm going to be with them, whatever they do. You really want to follow that path? Do you want to find out on Yawm al-Qiyamah whether your tribe, your people, they were right or wrong? You'd rather do your homework today and find out today. You don't want to delay and then find out on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Don't gamble with your religion, man. Don't use the coin and head is this and tail is that. We have Quran, we have Sunnah, and we have to follow the way of the Salaf. وَخَيْرُ الْأُمُورِ السَّالِفَاتِ عَلَى الْهُدَى وَشَرُّ الْأُمُورِ الْمُحْدَثَاتُ الْبَدَائِعُ. Good is only in adhering to that which the Prophet ﷺ left for us, left the companions firm upon. And evil, all evil, is the innovations and the inventions of those who came after them. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ.